What's going on, everybody? It's Sasha, your market expert here in Charlotte. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back for another monthly market report for Charlotte and its surrounding areas. And it's getting a little bit more exciting. And we have a stat that I feel like a lot of people don't pay attention to, which is the percentage of the original list price received that's taken a nosedive right now. It's taken a nosedive, so I'm excited to show you that. But all in all, really quick, the market right now, it is still strong. It's getting a lot better for buyers. Everything, as I mentioned, is a complete 180. My conversations are different. Now, every time I'm showing a house, more often than not, I would probably say roughly 50% of the time when I show a house, the seller's agent of the house that I just showed calls me and says, hey, are your clients interested? Is there anything we can do to kind of work this out? Do they need closing credits? Do they need paint credit? Do they need carpet credit? So they're trying to work out deals because they're not selling. I mention this all the time. All the houses that were completely outdated and things like that, those are the ones that are sitting on the market now for 100+ days. And if you're somebody that's looking to buy a house and put some sweat equity into it, do the renovations yourself, or maybe you know somebody that can help you with that stuff, right now is definitely a good time to do so. I've put in a couple offers that are pretty significantly below ask, and I've had conversations with a couple agents and things like that, and those conversations are going actually pretty well, unless it's like an extreme lowball offer. But if you're able to justify why you want to offer 50,000 less, it's totally doable right now. And it's just a very interesting time. It's very interesting watching this for myself, watching things happen on a daily basis. And then for you guys, watching my market reports and subscribing to the YouTube channel and liking this video, which I thank you for. But we're all just seeing this in real time. So for me, it's like mind blowing. It's honestly extremely fascinating. And honestly, you're gonna see in some of these stats that some of these prices have gone up. Median sales price and the average sales price have actually gone up slightly, not a major jump or anything like that. But what's very interesting, I'm seeing a lot of the higher priced homes for some reason selling quicker than houses, at $300,000 to like $700,000 price point, which is very interesting. I recently got one of my clients under contract in the Cotswold area, amazing area that I love. Be sure to check it out. But I was looking at the homes that were selling over there in all different price ranges. And to my surprise, houses in the $1 million plus price range were selling within a week or two. Now, obviously, it depends on the house and things like that, but the most recent one was listed at 1.84 million, and it ended up selling fairly quickly, as opposed to some of the other houses in the neighborhood that were 6, 7, 800,000, and they've been sitting on the market for 30+ days. So it's just very interesting kind of what's going on right now. And let's get into these numbers and let's talk about what I think is going to happen in the next 12 months or so. And it's going to be very valuable information with you guys. I still think we have a good amount of ways to go for sellers to be a little bit more realistic. It's very hard to have a conversation with a seller when their neighbor's house sold for 50,000 above what you think that we should list it for, and then the house ends up sitting. There's a certain house in the South Charlotte area, very close to South Park, a 10-minute drive to South Park, that I've been personally keeping my eye on. They started out over roughly about 4 months ago. It started out at $625,000. Right now, they are at $475,000. It's kind of crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And, to have that conversation with somebody, and you have a lot of realtors out here that will list the house for whatever just because they want to list the house. I personally do not do that. I like to set the proper expectations up front, have the right communication up front, and let people know, hey, this is where I think within this range is what I think we'll actually be able to sell it for. If you think your house is worth $1 million, but the comps show 800,000, there's no reason for anybody to waste their time to sell it for $1 million. I personally would not do that. Like I said, I set the proper expectations, the proper communication for whoever I'm working with. Enough with that. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, leave me a comment down below. And as always, if there's anything I can do for you, call, text, or email me anytime Now let's get into the numbers with new listings. So in regards to new listings, we had 5,175 new listings in the month of August, and that is a 15.2% decrease from this time last year. And get this, it's over 800 less new listings than we had in the month of July. So guys, look at this. In May, we had 6,100 new listings. In June, we had 6,500 new listings. In July, we had 6,000. And in August, we have just under 5,200 new listings. So comparing June to August, that is 1,200 less new listings than we had. Now, I know what you're thinking. How are the new listings going down, but we're going to get at better prices and things like that in the future? This is absolutely normal. Right now it is September. We're starting to head into the winter months. So these new listings are going to go down. So keep watching and I'm going to tell you exactly how we're going to get more inventory for the buyers that are in this market. Speaking of which, this is where we get into pending sales. We had 4,607 home sales pending in the month of August. That's an 18% decrease from this time last year. Now, just to put it in perspective, pending sales were up 18% in 2020. They were up 1.8% in 2021. Now they are down 18%. So guys, even though the new listings seem to be going down as is to be expected as we head into the winter months, so are the pending sales. So less buyers, because of the rates, are not in their price brackets. So people are priced out of the market. So you have less buyers, even though the listings are potentially coming down, which they are, you still have more options available to you. And we'll get into another stat, months of inventory, which will prove this a little bit further as well. Now let's get into the average sales price and the median sales price, which surprisingly had a slight jump. Not anything crazy, but they did have a slight jump. So the average sales price came in at just above $459,000, and that is a 16.9% increase from this time last year, and it's just above $2,500 more than the average sales price was in the month of July. So guys, I like medians more than I do with the averages because, as I mentioned, I think we're getting this slight little jump because it seems like the higher priced homes are selling a little bit quicker than houses that are priced $700,000 and under, for example. But all in all, we are still down as opposed to the last couple months. And I think this number is going to continue to decrease as we are expected to do interest rate hikes very soon. Right now, they're in the mid 5s to 5.5 to 5.8, depending on a couple other factors such as your down payment and credit score. But they are expected to go up, and I don't see them going down anytime soon within the next year or year and a half. So as these interest rates keep going up, it's going to price more people out, which is going to make housing a little bit more affordable because we're already at some pretty good highs right now. So I believe this number is going to go down for sure. Now moving on to the median sales price, which came in at $388,500. That is also really close, but a 16.7% increase from this time last year and about a $3,500 jump from the month of July. However, from our all-time highs of a median price point of $400,000, we're down $12,000. This same thing as the average sales price. I think we're going to see a slow downward trajectory. I do not see a big slump or nosedive or anything like that. I think we're going to go down slow and steady, but obviously this is going to be up to the rates. We never know what the Federal Reserve is going to do. If they reverse it and they come out with 4.5% interest rates tomorrow, the prices can start rising back up at a pretty good state. But due to where our economy is, we should not and we cannot afford to do that. So as of right now, both these prices I see going down, even though we had a slight uptick in the month of August. Now moving on to days on market, which came in at 19, and that is a 26.7% increase from this time last year, and it is a 4-day increase from the month of July. So days on market, really quick, just a quick reminder, the less days on market, the better it is for sellers. The more days, the better it is for buyers. And right now we're heading on more days on market. And take a look at this. It's very interesting. In 2020, days on market was 34, which was a 10.5% decrease. In 2021, it was 15, which was a 55.9% decrease. And for the first time in the last 2 years, we're looking at a 26.7% increase. Again, I'm seeing a lot of houses that would have sold within the first couple of days. Now they are sitting on the market for weeks, months, and the ones that have not been renovated for the last 20 to 30 years, they're sitting on the market for 60, 100 plus days. I still think we're going to see this go up as the market just gets better for buyers and there's more opportunities for buyers. Now let's get into that big nosedive of a stat that I was talking about. And this one kind of completely caught me off guard, and not a lot of people pay attention to it, but you definitely should. It tells you so much. And that is the percentage of the original list price received, which came in at 98.5. That's a 1.8% decrease from this past July. So very interesting. I want you guys to check this out. In the last year, we have not been below 100%. So this is the first time in the last year that we're actually below 100%. And even before, we were always hovering around, very close to 99.8, 99.7 and things like that. Now we're at 98.5. And essentially what this stat is telling you is that you can expect to pay 1.5% below the listed price. So this is the first time that this stat has ever said that we can pay below the listed price. Now, guys, you know this by now, but it is your realtor's job, it's your agent's job to do their due diligence and let you know what you should be offering and what a fair price is. For me personally, I've been getting more than 1.8% below the listed price in these last couple of months, which is great news. But again, it's on a case-by-case basis. But the fact that for the first time in the last, probably literally last 2 years, that this number is below, 100% is absolutely awesome for the buyers. And I expect this number to continue going down, which I definitely think it will. So start paying attention to this, because if we get into the 10%, if we get to the 90 percentile, that is a pretty significant price decrease. If we happen to get to that point, it's essentially telling you if you're buying $1 million home, just as an easy example, you can get it for 10% below that listed price, which is $100,000. So if we hit that territory, which it's likely, I don't know, maybe not, that we hit that point, I do think it will happen in the next 12 to 18 months, possibly even 2 years. It's going to be very interesting, and it's going to be something that you really need to pay attention to prior to making an offer. But again, your realtor should be helping you out with all this information so you know exactly where you need to be at and what you need to do to get the best deal possible. Next up, what used to be my least favorite stat, the stat I hated the worst because it was just horrible for me and my clients, is months of inventory. And it came in at 1.5 for the month of August. Now, again, get this, guys. In 2020, it was 1.5, but that was a 42.3% decrease. In 2021, it was at 1.1, which is a 26.7% decrease. And now we're at 1.5, which is a 36.4% increase. So for the last 2 years, we were always in the negative, and now we're in the positives, and we're at plus 36.4, which is a big increase. Months of inventory we want to pay attention to. Anything under 3 months of inventory is considered a seller's market. 3 to 5 months is considered a neutral market. 6+ months is when you're at a full-blown kind of buyer's market, where you can kind of look at as many houses as you want, pick and choose. You're able to negotiate extremely well. You're able to get a very good price. Essentially, exactly what the seller's market was these past 2 years. A buyer's market is that completely flipped over, but now it's in the buyer's hands and not so much the seller's. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye.